Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood wholesaler, Mike Hill. And today, um, man, I was trying to start this video differently, but man, that's off brand. That's Spider-Man. Okay, this is Mike Hill, the wholesaling titan, 13 years strong. Let's keep it consistent. Um, but whatever. We'll keep the off-brand intro. I'm still a comic book nerd and Marvel fanboy at heart. But anyway, I want you to lock in today for this video. Today, I'm going to give you my best prediction for the best new list that you should be targeting for motivated sellers in 2026. I really think this could be one of the biggest opportunities for real estate investors and wholesalers that we have seen in years. Now, a small caveat here. My content is usually results based, right? I tell you, this is what I have done. This is what I'm doing. This is what works. And usually I hate speculation and guessing, but there are exceptions to every rule. So today I am making a prediction. And while this one isn't based on personal experience, like, heck, man, I could be wrong. Let me tell you what I think is going to be one of the strongest new lists / lead sources going into 2026. So check this out. The Trump administration dropped their proposal for, their proposed budget for 2026. And guess what? They're aiming for some massive cuts to federal housing. So I'm talking, over 50%, not 5, not 15, 50+% cuts to HUD funding. Now, let's be real, man. Like, politicians talk big all the time, and this isn't political. Love them, hate them, I really don't care. I decided a long time ago that whatever president, whatever political party, whatever policies, whatever we have, whatever's in control, I can't control that, but I will control how I adapt to that. I will never be at the mercy of someone else or a policy or an ideology. I'm just going to find a way to capitalize, to take advantage of the situation and basically to win. Okay. So what happens if this actually goes through? Well, the entire rental market, especially for landlords who rely on Section 8, man, that shit's all about to get rocked, right? So let me break that down for you a little bit. Here's what these cuts actually mean. So HUD is the department that funds housing assistance, things like Section 8 vouchers. Like millions of low-income families rely on them, and landlords, we're talking hundreds of thousands of them, they depend on those programs because, things like Section 8, that's basically the government cutting them a guaranteed rent check every single month. So here's an example. Let's say your average husband and wife, they buy a rental property, they buy it with a traditional mortgage, and every month they have to pay for that mortgage. They have to pay the taxes, the maintenance, etc. And at the end of the day, even if the rent is, $2,000, most of them are profiting only about maybe $200. But that's okay, right? Because they've put in a Section 8 tenant who, by the way, could not pay that rent on their own, but it's cool because the government is paying it. So it's guaranteed money that comes in on the first of every month. Now, if that government money goes away, hey man, like they still got to pay that mortgage, those taxes, that maintenance. They might even have to file to, go through the eviction process, get rid of that tenant they had. And with this proposed budget, we could see Section 8 funding slashed. That means fewer vouchers available. In some cases, people could lose assistance after just 2 years. Instead of federal guarantees, money gets sent to states in the form of block grants, meaning the rules are going to be different depending on where you live. But like, what's the bottom line? Okay. Bottom line is that guaranteed rent check, it's not going to be guaranteed for everyone, right? So think about it like this, right? Tenants could lose that voucher. Okay. Payments shrink or dry up completely. Evictions now start to rise. Those vacancies climb. And those landlords, with those climbing vacancies, they're about to feel the heat. So most landlords, they are not sitting on big piles of cash like you might think. They've got those mortgages, those taxes, they've got maintenance, repair costs. And a lot of them are already operating on just razor thin margins. So what happens when that government subsidy disappears? Well, at that point, it's like, boom, we got pressure, real financial pressure. They start missing payments. They can't keep up with the repairs. Their properties fall into distress, and the distressed landlord is what we call a motivated seller. And that's where we come in. Wholesalers and investors, this is the opportunity, right? This right here is how some fortunes are going to be made by spotting opportunity in the chaos. So while landlords are panicking, wholesalers, investors, cash buyers, like we're going to eat, right? And while like we've always used evictions and frustrated landlords as a source of motivated sellers, and it's great because eviction filings, they're verified sources of distress, right? They're made in the public record, so they're pretty easy to get a hold of. But in this case, that means more distressed properties are about to hit the market. More landlords are going to be looking for an exit, and they'll sell at a discount because they need out, right? And if you're like the one with the hustle, the one making the calls, sending the offers, putting in the work, you're going to be the one who's going to lock up those properties. So this is literally potentially the perfect storm, right? Landlords under stress, tenants losing support, just a tidal wave of motivated sellers. And just to reiterate in a little bit more detail, again, HUD's funding would be cut by over half. It's a 51% reduction in new funding, 59% reduction after budget offsets. Many major housing programs would be completely eliminated, not just reduced. States would receive much less money overall to support housing compared to 2025. HUD would go from 89 billion to I have here 43.5 billion in new funding. That's pretty dramatic, right? Dramatically fewer resources for low-income renters, homeowners, communities. It also includes like tribal housing funding and tribal housing programs. And like major programs would potentially end, right? So that Section 8 housing choice vouchers, it was $36 billion in 2025. We got project-based Section 8, $16.9 billion. Public housing funding, $8.8 billion. Section 208 housing for elderly, Section 811 housing for persons with disabilities. Like the entire federal safety net for rental assistance would be largely dismantled. Households currently receiving vouchers or living in subsidized housing, they got to depend on states. Again, that's going to vary. Those states would have to recreate new programs, housing for elderly, like 2-year minimums, things like community development block grants, home investment partnerships, housing for elderly. I said that one already. HIV/AIDS housing, choice neighborhoods, a lot of Native American programs, self-sufficiency programs, etc. But the point is, right, if enacted, 2026 will see the largest rollback of federal housing assistance in modern U.S. history, shifting responsibility from federal government to the states while simultaneously reducing the total funding. So let me be clear, okay? This is not me hating or loving your favorite or most hated politician, right? I just don't give a shit. It is what it is. I'm just preparing to capitalize on what may come. Now, I'm not saying, again, that this is guaranteed. We don't know what Congress will approve. We don't know if these cuts will pass exactly the way they're proposed. Probably never exactly. But what we do know is that if this happens, the people who are prepared, the ones who are studying, like building their skills, putting in the reps, these are the people who are going to cash out. And if you're one of those people kind of sitting on the sidelines, you're just going to miss the whole thing, man. Every time the market shifts, most people panic, okay? They freeze up. I don't know what to do, right? But the winners, you guys see opportunity. And that's why I'm talking to you about this now. Because if you want to be ahead of the curve, you need to start building the skills, the systems, the relationships, anticipate this stuff happening. Don't wait until next year when the headlines are screaming about landlords going bankrupt and housing crisis getting worse. At that time, it's going to be too late. So here is your next move, okay? Get your marketing dialed in. Get your systems, your processes tight. Learn how to run your comps. Learn how to lock up contracts. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to negotiate like a pro. Because when this wave hits, and again, speculative, but you're either going to surf in it and it's going to be great, or you're going to drown in it. And I promise you, the people who surf in it are going to be, you're going to be coming out of here with literally life-changing checks. This could be the single biggest transfer of distressed properties that we have seen in literally decades. And wholesalers, the ones who grind, the ones who take action, the ones who are prepared, are going to be the ones just scooping this shit up, okay? So just understand that like chaos a lot of times creates success. This is not doom and gloom. That's what you're going to hear from the media. This is opportunity if you know how to position yourself. So don't waste this. Don't sleep on it. Get ready. 2026 could absolutely be your year. If you want my help, I don't like making my videos like this big pitch fest, but just check the links in the description. There are opportunities to work with me and JV with me for free. In fact, you can grab my entire wholesaling course for free. And that includes everything you need from the training to contracts and ebooks and all kinds of training, right? But I also have group mentorship. This is a program where you could literally be making a 10K check spending total expenditure like $200. There's a few spots each week available for a free call with me. There's an option for one-on-one mentorship. So I get, no matter where you are, if you're dedicated and committed, I always say I don't waste people's time. I don't let people waste my time. But wherever you are, if you want to work together, there's an option for you. And all those are going to be explained in links below. So check those out, all right? If you want to do some deals together. But thank you guys again for watching. Appreciate it so much. If you got some value, please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Helps the channel out a great deal. Make sure you don't miss any new videos. And then also let me know what questions you have. Like I said, today's video, a little bit more on the speculative side, which is not my normal thing. But if you've heard something, if you're thinking something, if you have questions, either about maybe what's coming or practically things you're doing, things you've heard, just let me know. Happy to make that next video for you, okay? So thanks again for watching. Really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. All right? Have a good one, guys. Peace.